It's honestly pretty sad how social media has brought down our attention spans tremendously. And you see people today in conversations, it's very hard to have conversations with a lot of people. I'll give you a story. I talk to people, you can see in their eyes that they're, not paying attention. You can see their attention span is quick. And you try to tell them a story and you wish they were present. Like you wish they gave you that gift of presence, but they just can't do that. And this is most people. Most people have social anxiety. We have, anxiety, stress to the roof these days because of social media. Our society is the most connected it's ever been, right? We know that. On the internet, on Instagram, you're most connected, yet we're one of the loneliest, right? We have social anxiety. We don't really have good social skills anymore, right? This is not taught in schools. So it's honestly tough for most men out there. So to give you a little bit of backstory, I used to be extremely and socially awkward around people, around new people, new social interactions. I wasn't the same person that I am today, very, very alive, very much happy and present in the moment. I would definitely have to attribute that with social media, right? I got social media at a young age. So it's not actually that young because these days kids are basically born with social media and their phones and games and these addictions like TikTok, etc. But I got it when I was in 7th grade. Right now I'm 22. So 7th grade, yeah, you feel so connected to your friends on social media, etc. But I was so lonely at that time, seeing all these posts, feeling the fear of missing out, as they call it, with all your friends. They're doing something and you're not invited. Social media goes much more deeper than just, making you socially awkward. It just gives you so many negative emotions. Like I told you, like the fear of missing out. So I could definitely attribute my lack of social skills with being on my phone, also playing video games at the time. I was playing hours of video games with my cousin. We were playing GTA, we were playing Call of Duty Black Ops 2 for hours. Literally, I woke up in the morning, the first thing I did, opened the PS3, and then the whole day just passes like that. And it's 8 p.m. So it's very depressing, right? We know this. The first time that literally a switch was flipped was when I was in 9th grade. So I was a freshman in high school. Somehow I was reading How to Win Friends and Influence People, which I don't know. I think I decided I want to buy that book. I wasn't into self-improvement, none of that stuff. I was just, let's read an interesting book. And from there, I was hooked, right? I was hooked on all these social skills and ways to elevate your social skills. And one thing in particular that literally flipped a switch for me was understanding that people don't actually care about you. And it's not in a mean way. It's not in a negative way. It's people are so into themselves, into their interests, into their desires, their wants, that they don't actually pay attention to you. So you feel so socially awkward when you go into this event or new people and you meet new people. But guess what? They're thinking the same exact thing. They're also in their heads thinking, oh, what does he think of me? What do they think? They're not really overanalyzing you and thinking as much as you think. Yes, there's obviously people who do that. But the biggest thing I got from reading that book the first time in 9th grade was, people don't actually notice. People don't actually pay attention. It gave me a sense of hope and understanding that, yeah, I'm my worst critic. I'm probably the one who's causing the social anxiety and feeling that, yeah, I'm stressed when I meet a new person, etc. Because I'm over analyzing in my head. People don't actually care. So this was the first time I understood, yeah, I'm probably my worst critic. And we're always our worst critic, but it's this understanding that you need to pay attention to the voice in your head. Have you seen these videos of people going in the gym and doing just like a weird thing? And they're like, watch, no one actually notices what you do at the gym. So don't overthink it. Don't overanalyze yourself. As I said, people are so into themselves, into their workout, into what they're doing. They don't actually notice, or if they notice, they don't actually care. So let me share with you some practical steps that you can actually apply today and literally change how you interact with people and improve your social skills. The first point is discuss what matters to the other side. This is such a big point. So let me break this down. Discuss what matters to the other side. So you understand that you yourself watching this, you have interests, you have wants, you have things that you like to talk about, right? You have hobbies, you have things you like to do. We all have hobbies, we all have interests, and we all want to talk about those things, about what we're studying right now, what we're learning, what we just went through, our day, etc. We all have that. When you understand that also the other person, obviously, that you're talking to has these needs, desires, wants, and they too want to share those with you. When you understand that, you learn to appeal to their desires and needs, because it doesn't matter what you have to say. It doesn't matter. It's not going to make them like you more. It's not going to make them more happy to be in a conversation with you and see you and perceive you in a better light. No, they also have desires and they want to talk about those things as much as you do. So guess what? When you give people that stage to talk freely about their interests, about their desires, about their days, and obviously, you ask questions, your social skills will skyrocket. And this is from experience. As I told you, when I went into this book, learning in 9th grade, I continued to apply these things and I continue to be fascinated by the results and how people perceive you differently when you just allow them and give them that stage, that podium to talk freely, right? You don't interrupt. You let them talk about what they want. So a practical example is, let's say you just met someone new, right? You're in school. You met someone who likes golf, for example. You talk to them, you figure out that they like golf. It's one of their interests, one of their hobbies. Guess what? Allow them to talk freely about that topic. Let them, talk about their passions, about their goals, about their desires. Keep asking questions. You have needs and you have desires and you want to talk about how you like self-improvement or how you like working out, etc. But guess what? They don't care. And it's a sad reality, but it's one of those truths that if you understand and use to your advantage, people will just like you. And the person, usually a lot of people say, is the person who doesn't talk has power in a conversation. That's literally powerful, not to speak and hear the other side. And they just have talked and you just haven't said anything. And guess what? They like you more and you have a lot more information about them and you just know a lot more about the other side. So this is the first thing you can apply today to have an advantage over other people. It's not literally about advantages, but it's about improving your social skills. So this is something you can apply today in your next interaction with the next person. So the next thing I want to talk about, which you can apply today that will elevate your social skills, is breath work. And I'm surprised not a lot of people talk about this, right, in the self-improvement space. They talk about meditation. Obviously, we know meditation is good for you. Meditation is kind of the long-term thing that will yield you a lot of benefits. But if you want something short-term and you really want to change your state pretty quick, right? So for example, you're nervous, you're going into a social interaction, you want to change your state, then breathwork is the right thing for you. And so I got into this recently. I found this out from Chris Williamson. So I saw an interview with Chris Williamson and he talked about breathwork and how he does that with an app called State App, which I'll get into next. So he does this for 5 minutes. That's pretty much all you need. It's honestly fun because you follow it in the app and I'll tell you about that in a second. But yeah, I got into this recently and it really has changed how grounded and present I feel. Like I could feel it now when I'm talking to you. I feel so grounded and present. And yes, meditation has probably helped me to do that, right? Because I've been doing this practice for a while. But this was the added benefit that I needed. And understanding how this applies to social skills is also important because presence and social skills and social interactions is so important. As I started this video, I told you most people aren't present, right? They don't have awareness of the present moment. Their attention span easily is pretty quick and they go somewhere else very fast. And yeah, it surprised me that you can change your state of mind so quick. And it is really powerful. So it's a tool that you can use and do in your daily routine. And, it's just 5 minutes. So let's get into a little bit about what is breath work in detail. So from what I understood, I'm also new to this, so I'm not an expert, but there is power in our breathing, right? There is power in that. We take our breathing for granted, right? We don't pay attention to our breathing patterns, etc. And so what scientists have found is that if you can alter and change your breathing patterns consciously, right? You consciously take time out of your day to change those patterns, then you can alter your physiological state to feel more alert, to feel more present, to feel maybe more sleepy. So you can use a handful of different breathing techniques to change your physiological state, which is insane. And so the app that I told you about, sadly, it's only available in the App Store, in the iOS App Store, so not in Google Play. So you can probably find a similar app as well to this. It's just, breathing exercises and breath work. So you can probably find something similar. So what this app does is you can pick some physiological state that you want. For example, feel more alert. There's 4 states that you can pick from in the app, I believe. One of them is feel more alert. And so you click that, literally 4 or 5 minutes and you're done. And you do feel a difference. You feel, at least personally in my experience, I felt a lot more alert and more present. So you can use this to your advantage. This is why I'm saying you can do this before a conversation, before an interview, before getting to the social interaction, before going out with friends. It's not just a tool that you do, once a day in the morning. You can also do it twice or before an interaction with someone that's important. And this is something you can apply today and get honestly pretty immediate results and feel a lot more present and grounded. And that will give you a lot lot of advantages when you go into interaction with someone new, or you're just your friend. You know, you're a little bit socially anxious. You want to improve your social skills. This is the best way to do that. It's by becoming more present and grounded. That allows you space to, you know, improve your social skills and be listening to the other person better and actually be in the moment, right? It's all about these short tricks and tips all the time. I think a lot of it has to do with being present, right? When we're present, when we listen to the other person, our social skills honestly skyrocket. So I hope you found value in these 2 actionable steps that you can do to drastically increase your social skills today. So I'll see you next time. Peace.